Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dive into a morning ritual that's been making the rounds online, drinking apple cider vinegar with sea salt. We're going to break down all the claims straight from one of the popular sources that's got everyone talking about it.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the big question that the source itself is trying to answer. What is this drink actually supposed to be doing for your body when you drink it every single morning?
According to the source, the actual process couldn't be easier. It's literally a three-step thing. You just combine the ingredients, give them a really good shake, and then you sip it through a straw on an empty stomach before you get your day started. Simple as that. All right, so this is the big one, right? Why would you even do this? Well, the source lays out a pretty long list of potential benefits, so let's walk through them one by one. So, first on the list is this idea of boosted hydration and energy. The theory here is that the vinegar helps your body unlock the minerals from the salt, which then helps your cells hydrate way more effectively than just plain water. It's supposed to be like a real wake-up call for your brain. And that little energy boost, it kind of leads right into the next claim, which is all about kickstarting your metabolism. The source suggests that the acetic acid in the vinegar gets your stomach ready for the day, basically telling it to start producing the stuff you need to break down fats, proteins, and carbs more efficiently.
Now this next one, this is where it gets really interesting, because it feels totally backwards, right? The source argues that the combo of sodium and acetic acid actually improves the nerve signals to that little valve above your stomach, telling it to clamp shut and keep acid where it belongs.
And the claims don't stop there. They even get into your immune system. The idea here is that both the acetic acid and the salt can help your white blood cells get to work faster, giving your body's natural defenses a little leg up against viruses and bacteria. Okay, if you've ever dealt with muscle cramps, you're going to want to pay attention to this one. The claim is that the acid activates key minerals from the salt that are crucial for nerve signaling and muscle relaxation. So not only preventing cramps, but also helping muscles recover. And that whole idea of minerals doing the heavy lifting, well, it continues with heart health. The source says that the sodium from the sea salt works together with other things like calcium and magnesium to help promote a steady, normal heart rhythm. Of course, they claim you'll start to see the benefits on the outside too. The theory is that by getting better at absorbing minerals like zinc and copper, you're basically giving your body the raw materials it needs to build more collagen and keratin. And that means healthier hair, skin, and nails.
And I think this is a really cool example of how you can adapt the basic recipe. The source says if you're looking for something like pain relief, you can add a little bit of organic turmeric powder to help fight inflammation in your gut and your joints.
Okay, but hold on. This is super important. The source is really clear that this isn't about just grabbing any old salt and vinegar from your pantry. Nope. They say the quality of your ingredients makes all the difference.
Yeah, check out how specific this is. We're talking raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with something called the mother still in it. For salt, they recommend things like Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt, and they specifically say to avoid regular old table salt. Same with water, no alkaline water.
So the source is pretty smart about this. It actually anticipates some of the big questions you're probably already thinking of, and it tries to answer them right off the bat. All right, first up, the big one. The question that probably popped into your head immediately when you heard drink salt water. Isn't salt bad for you? What about blood pressure? So here's how they explain it. They draw a really sharp line between two different types of salt. They claim regular table salt is the problem. It's processed, bleached, has additives. But unrefined sea salt, they argue, is different. It has trace minerals and supposedly has very little effect on blood pressure for most folks. And just to give you an idea of how much salt we're actually talking about here, the source points out that the quarter teaspoon in the recipe is less sodium than you'd find in a single small packet of potato chips. Kind of puts it in perspective, right? Another huge point they make is that it's all about balance. Sodium and potassium are like a team in your body, managing fluids. So they strongly recommend making sure you're getting enough potassium from things like leafy greens, veggies, and avocados to keep everything in check. Okay, so what about the other big question? It's just common sense, right? You've got acid in your stomach, so why on earth would you drink more acid? Isn't that just asking for trouble? Well, the source pulls out a little chemistry to answer this one. It points out that your stomach's natural environment is extremely acidic, like battery acid level. This apple cider vinegar drink, when you compare the pH levels, is way less acidic. So, according to the claim, it's not even close to making your stomach more acidic. Okay, so we've gone through a lot here. Let's boil it all down. what are the main things you should remember from this source's perspective? So, when you look at the whole picture, what the source is really proposing is a super simple daily habit that comes with some really big claims, everything from hydration to better skin. But, and this is the key, it all hinges on using very specific, high-quality ingredients. And they make a direct case that it's safe from both a salt and an acid perspective.
And you know what? This right here might be the most important slide of the whole explainer. The creator of the source material makes it crystal clear. This is for education only. This is not medical advice. You should always talk to your doctor if you have any health issues.
So our goal here was really just to lay out all the claims from this one particular source nice and clear. And that leaves us with a big question. Is this some kind of simple wellness key, just another passing trend, or is it something else entirely? That's for you to explore further.